here to talk about the changing nature of power in the world, how power is devolving from hierarchies like governments and large institutions to individuals. Lots of people talk about the redistribution, the changing nature of power, and say that it's moving from west to east, that it's moving from Europe and the Americas to Asia. People say that it's moving from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere. What I'm here to talk about is the real changing nature of geopolitical power, and that is moving from hierarchies to individuals.
Comme je suis un homme de l'ancien monde, je suis venu voir ce qui se passe dans le nouveau. Donc j'essaie de comprendre, c'est-à-dire que je suis de ceux qui préfèrent lire un roman en volume plutôt que sur un iPad. Donc je demande à être convaincu, ou en tout cas qu'on m'explique 2 ou 3 choses sur ce qui se passe dans la zoosphère dans laquelle nous sommes en train d'entrer et dont nous serons, quoi qu'il arrive, tributaires ou dépendants. Donc j'essaie de comprendre, voilà, c'est ce que j'attends de ça.
I'm here tonight basically because of everybody else who's here tonight. It's kind of an amazing collection of people from very, very different aspects of tech and people who really understand the technology is not its own vertical that is somehow separate from culture or media or the economy, but that all these things intersect. And finding the people who understand that and bringing those people together across the ocean is sort of one of the most valuable things that you can do.
Dans quelques jours, au 2e anniversaire des dîners de l'Atlantique, on a voulu se concentrer ce soir sur des individus, des personnalités qui sont dans leur domaine respectif, je dirais des génies ou des petits génies.
When I think about political well-being and when I think of economic well-being, what I believe is that the future is going to be made up increasingly of network effects that oftentimes manifest themselves through individuals and ad hoc networks as opposed to in the traditional hierarchical way.
One thing I've learned from my work, saving the world on a daily basis, is that the internet is made up by people, for people, and about people. Those people are now more powerful than ever before in human history. And if you, in this room, want to be powerful or remain powerful, you will treat those people like people and not like anything else.
Mutation and adaptation. There are 2 biological phenomena necessary for the existence of today's living species. Mutation can be used by animals, birds, insects, and nonetheless, Tunisian politicians and newspapers and TV stations. Also known as Ben Ali's propaganda tools. These newspapers mutated in less than 24 hours to become the voice of the people and the voice of the revolution.
We live in a world now that is generating more data than we have ever seen in one place before. And when Alec came up here, he said, I am not a nerd, so I'm going to say the opposite thing. I am a nerd. Thank you. I'm a scientist, and I study the data that is generated by people sharing links and content online. And we at Bitly have a very odd little piece of infrastructure where we see approximately 70 million unique new pieces of content every day that are being clicked on and read by approximately 300 million people around the world.
This is on 9/11, just after we published an issue. The headline, U.S. vows to defeat whoever it is we're at war with. After the election of President Obama, black man given nation's worst job. A very funny and very true statement, I think proven by history so far. We even have made some statements about France. This is in our Atlas book, our entry for France, One Nation Above God. France is home to Earth's entire population of 62.7 million people, every single one of the planet's 427 cities, and all of its history, culture, and beauty. France is the only country in Le Monde.
What you see in this, in Amazon, is the same thing that you see in Wall Street, which is evidence of algorithms that are moving through the world without any human supervision at all. Okay? So this is a price that was determined by two algorithms used by two different booksellers on Amazon that were actually in conflict, that were caught in a loop, that allowed this price, that produced a price of $23 million. And the only difference between the prices on Amazon and the prices on the market is that this still requires a human to say, yeah, sure, I'll pay $23 million for that.
In 2008, in August of 2008, we released a service and a program called Photosynth, which if we had a live internet connection and so on here, I'd demonstrate for you. It's really fun to see it work live. But what we designed it to do was to allow people to take sets of pictures of the same environment or of the same thing and upload them. And while you're uploading them, your computer is working to do that three-dimensional reconstruction. And so what you end up with is both the collection of images and the three-dimensional reconstruction of whatever those images are of. And we conceived of this as a sort of new medium, if you like.
And what I want to say as an art critic, it is that technology didn't help me to make any tricky thing on images, but to look and to understand in a more profound way the works of art.
I was pleased, and it seemed as if there was a positive audience response. I think even though it was a new topic for the people here, I was trying to inspire the audience to see how they engage online differently. I think even though it was a new way of talking about the topic, that people responded well.
I was delighted to speak here. The audience is an interesting cross-section of business and government and technology people, and so seeing the conversations that come out of throwing those three things together was really a lot of fun.